Oh, this is interesting. Are they all supposed to say 3 p.m.? Did I just fuck up? Did I do something wrong? I guess I did do something wrong. I think they're all supposed to say 3 p.m. Okay. Did I do it? They all say 3 p.m. Oh, no, they don't. Oh, that's annoying. Ooh!
Mr. von Schwesterkrank? Believe it or not, that key your uncle gave you opened up some kind of passageway. Is it okay if I see where it goes?
A passageway? He never said anything about a passageway. Go ahead and explore it all you want. Just be careful, this building is very old.
Alright, we're saving. Wait, first, let me get rid of this notification. Because 100% something dangerous is about to happen. Oh, it's a spider.
Glad I'm not a fly.
Something very dangerous is about to happen, and I'm not happy about it. What the fuck is this?
I wonder what that symbol means.
Oh, look at that.
The year when our despair ended. The year when my despair began.
Is it like that weird, like... what that obelisk said? I guess so. Ooh. Wow. I don't know what all this is.
Looks like some kind of code.
Luckily, I have a code reader.
Wonder what that thing is. Those dials remind me of the stone discs in Minette's studio. The ones she got paint all over.
Okay. Oh my. Dear Noisette, we thank you for your bravery and dedication for working with the Resistance. Please know that this work is extremely dangerous and under no circumstance should you ever reveal any information or contacts you have learned about. We will provide further instructions on the M380 machine, a wonderful contraption we like to call our dear old friend. I'm sure 380 will soon become your cher ami the more you use it. That seems significant. Essentially, 380 allows for encoding and decoding of messages. Here are some tips. You must set the 3 dials in correct position before decoding or encoding a message. Then type the message. If you ever enter an incorrect key during decoding, the machine may reset. Also, be sure the dials are set correctly. If not, the message will be encoded or decoded incorrectly, or the machine may reset. Never use the enter or return key. That will reset the whole machine. If a message is broken up, just ignore those line breaks. Ignore any punctuation or spaces in an encoded message. A circle with a slash through it is a 0. Rachel and I will be in Paris and hope to meet you. I'm quite intrigued by your metro system of transportation and have been thinking about how to use the numbered lines and names of the metro stops for a code. This always shows up, I think, right next to, like, Notre Dame and, like, what's it called? The Eiffel Tower. And thank you for your advice on using date shift ciphers. I never thought about using other numbers besides just dates. One could use the number of a house address like 1216 Sunnyside Drive, the population of a town, the ID number, or of a favorite friend, etc. Try it out. Use the Dewey Decimal number of my favorite book, 109 RUS, to decode the following message. Oh boy, Rose P. We often use the Cross of Lorraine as our symbol. Joan of Arc used it, you know. Alrighty. Well, let's save. Someone's gonna want to kill me any second now, 100%. Hey!
Sorry, I'm busy.
You don't even want to know what's in your secret passage? That's so wild. Alright, and apparently I can't snoop, so that sucks. Well, okay, bye.
It'll be dark in a few minutes. I'm going to head back to Jingjing's.
Not quite sure what I have to do next. Probably have to decode, like, that, like, three-wheel thing. I don't really know. This is a very interesting day. Let's read the headlines. Top story. Next summer, Paris's Fontainebleau Park will be the site of a temporary art exhibit to be called La Nation du Vent, People of the Wind. Its creator, British artist Sherman Sherman, has contracted with the city to create the exhibit, which will consist of scores of brightly colored mnemonic figures, each over 6 meters tall. Alain Viceroy, Director of Public Works, is spearheading the project. As I understand it, Sherman is going to create a village of whimsical plastic forms that will appear to dance as solar-powered fans drive air through them. It should be a mesmerizing sight. Viceroy believes the project will provide a much-needed boost to the economy of the quiet neighborhood surrounding the park. But he warns that the boon will be short-lived. Unlike most of the artwork that the Department of Public Works is charged with procuring and maintaining, Sherman's exhibit will be taken down after 28 days and destroyed, never to be repeated. I tried to talk him into making the exhibit permanent, but did not succeed. Sherman refuses to comment on the project, saying only that when the time comes, it will speak for itself. Sherman's last exhibit, called Tuna Melt, was one he erected last spring in a park in Tokyo. It's Tokyo! I can't wait to go to Tokyo. It's gonna be fun. Where the hell are you? You're still fucking gone? Girl. Is this the same thing? Yeah. Ugh, I'm not looking forward to it. I know 100% that I'm gonna have to go to the catacombs soon. Let's catch up on our friends. Ooh, I can call people, can't I? Oh, look at that. Oh, I have to fucking dial each one. I don't want to call Zoo. What do I need to call Zoo for? I'm not going to the catacomb anytime soon. Hopefully not. Oh, I could not sleep well, guys. I kept thinking that someone's breaking in. Lynn Manrique. Who is that? Alright, let's catch up with our besties.
Hello?
Me again.
We're both on, Nan. What's up?
Ooh.
I told you guys before I left that I'd be rooming with Jingjing Ling, right?
You mean, you really are?
Yes.
We thought you were kidding. What's she like?
Well...
She's very nice, down-to-earth, bubbly, outgoing, just a regular person. In order to work for Minette, she needs to gain a little weight, so she's constantly making cookies for herself.
In order to work for Minette, she needs to gain a little weight, so she's constantly making cookies for herself.
What? Models can't eat cookies. That goes against the laws of nature.
JJ can. In fact, she has to. She's a couple pounds shy of being the perfect size 12 that Minette needs.
But that's not fair. All this time thinking that I could eat cookies and models couldn't is the only way I could feel superior to them. You just totally destroyed my self-image. Well, look at it this way. Jingjing Ling eats cookies. Jingjing Ling is a model. Bess Marvin eats cookies. Ergo, Bess Marvin is a model. Or could be a model. You know, in some parallel universe type thing. Nice try, George.
I took this very strange phone call from Minette. At least I tried to.
What was so strange about it?
The guy wouldn't give me his name, and he sounded very hostile, and he had a German accent. And, not long after that, some unknown person sent Minette a box of cockroaches.
Ew, yuck.
Tell me about it. They got loose all over her office, and she made me find them and put them back in the box.
Double yuck. Did any kind of note come with them?
Nope.
Sending anonymous letters is one thing, but sending live vermin sounds to me like things are getting personal. Yeah, let's just hope they don't start to get deadly.
You know they will.
The windmill Minette works out of was once owned by a woman named Noisette Tornade, who used to be a resistance fighter during World War II.
Was it like her headquarters or something?
I don't know, but I can tell you that a certain young German fashion photographer who used to date Minette has been carrying around the woman's obituary.
Why?
Don't know that either. I have the number of someone in the States who's doing research on her. Maybe I'll give her a call.
Good idea. Something tells me the more you know about that old windmill, the better off you'll be.
Yeah.
Guess I should get back to work.
Call us anytime, preferably soon.
Alright, well, I have to fucking call people again. So... I'm gonna call the Hardy Boys and then I'll call this person. And then I'll probably sign off for the day. There we go. So Frank and Joe. So far, nothing scary has happened yet, and I'm very thankful for that. Super thankful.
Hello?
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Nancy, what's going on?
There's a hidden door in Dieter von Schwesterkrank's place that leads to a tunnel.
What does the tunnel lead to?
It dead ends at a wall that has some kind of lock on it.
How did you find the door?
Dieter, he's a fashion photographer. His great-uncle gave him a key that ultimately opened the door.
So what does this Dieter guy know about the tunnel?
Nothing. Probably a lot more than he's saying.
Probably a lot more than he's saying.
Well, you know what you should do next.
Find out more about his great-uncle.
Sure wouldn't hurt.
Huh, okay.
That's it for now.
Call back anytime. See ya.
I guess I should find out about his great uncle. Alright, let's call this person. Alright, Lynn Manrique. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 3, 8.
Modern European history, Lynn Manrique.
Hello, my name is Nancy Drew. I'm calling from Paris. Actually, I talked to you earlier when you tried to call Minette.
She's finally calling me back? Wonderful. Please, put her on.
I'd like to, but I'm afraid she's still too busy to talk to you.
Oh,
But if you don't mind, could I ask you a couple of questions about Noisette Tournade?
certainly.
How long does she live in the Moulin where Minette now has her studio? You mentioned hidden plunder in your letter to Minette. What did you mean?
You mentioned hidden plunder in your letter to Minette. What did you mean?
Some people said that during the war she took various pieces of artwork, mostly from churches, and stashed them away somewhere so they wouldn't fall into enemy hands.
Huh. Sounds pretty heroic to me. Were they recovered after the war?
Were they recovered after the war?
The artwork remains lost to this day. No one knows exactly what Noisette took, or if indeed she took anything. You see, from 1942 until the liberation of Paris, Noisette worked as a translator for the Germans by day and an encoder for the French resistance by night. This, as you might imagine, made everyone suspicious of her, both French and Germans alike. And after the war, things got ugly. Especially when people found out she was romantically involved with a German soldier. His name was Hans von Schwesterkrank.
You're kidding me.
Excuse me? What happened to him? Was he by any chance related to Dieter von Schwesterkrank, the fashion photographer? Oh my god.
Was he by any chance related to Dieter von Schwesterkrank, the fashion photographer?
I'm afraid I have no idea. Hans left Paris right after the war and never returned, leaving Noisette to fend for herself. She was tried as a collaborator in 1946 and acquitted, but the experience left her quite bitter. She never married, you know, very private person. She served as Paris's director of public works for more than 20 years, yet not one person has been able to tell me what her favorite color was. In any case, Noisette was terribly hurt that the city she loved had turned on her like that. After her trial, she told the press that the truth of what she'd done during the war resided in her and in the person and place she loved the most. And that was that. She never spoke of her wartime activities again. I assume that the person she was referring to was Hans von Schwesterkrank, who passed away a year or two ago, and that the place was her beloved Moulin, which is where she lived for almost half a century after the war. That's why I'm hoping Minette will allow me to visit it. Now, I've got a question for you. In the hours before she died, Noisette was said to have constantly muttered 3 words: red, left, green. Is there anything inside the Moulin that has to do with red, left, green? Anything at all?
No, but I'll keep that in mind and let you know if I see something.
I'd appreciate it. Any other questions?
That's the photograph, I think, of the There's a photo in fucking what's his name, Dieter's office, and there's a stoplight on it, and there's green, yellow, and red. Anyway, holy shit, there's a lot.
What was the French resistance?
That was the name given to the various groups of men and women who did their best to undermine Germany's military occupation of France during World War II. Some would engage in strikes and sabotage, while others would collect and pass intelligence along to the Allies. Needless to say, their operations were highly covert and very dangerous.
What else can you tell me about the German occupation of Paris?
The German army entered Paris on June 14, 1940, and after France formally surrendered on June 22nd, the Germans controlled the city. They took whatever they wanted, food, supplies, houses, artwork, and dictated how Parisians were to live their lives. Naturally, their presence was deeply resented. Some people ignored the situation as best they could. Some collaborated with the Germans, while others, like those in the resistance, fought back until the city was finally liberated on August 25th, 1944.
After the war, when she was the director of public works, what kind of things did Noisette do?
She oversaw many of the services which the citizens of Paris enjoyed every day. Streets, bridges, parks, their maintenance all came under Noisette's purview. She particularly enjoyed putting various forms of art on permanent display in various public places, especially parks.
So she must have been the one to put up all those, like, art pieces around the park.
What's the story behind the Cross of Lorraine?
The vertical bar crossed by two horizontal bars is an emblem that was first used by Joan of Arc, as well as the Dukes of Lorraine in the 15th century. But during and after World War II, it became a symbol of the French resistance. Nowadays, it's not unusual to see it on statues or monuments commemorating the period in French history from 1940 to 1945.
What did you mean when you said Noisette was tried as a collaborator?
Collaborators were French citizens who not only failed to resist the occupation, but actually helped the Germans keep it going. Because Noisette had worked for the Germans as a translator and had a German boyfriend, after the war, many of her countrymen automatically accused her of collaboration. When it was revealed that she had been a member of the resistance, instead of exonerating her, that just made some people think she'd been spying for the Germans too. As I said before, it was an ugly time, one which poor Noisette spent the rest of her life trying to forget.
Aw.
I really appreciate your help.
My pleasure. Bye.
Damn, I don't want to sign off. I want to do more now. I kind of want to go back to homie's office and, like, check out that green thing. But honestly, I have enough time. Let's do that. Let's save. I know I'm saving a lot. Alright, let's see. I called a historian who had been trying to talk to Minette about Noisette Tornade and discovered that Noisette was rumored to have stolen some artwork during World War II. She also had a German boyfriend named Hans von Schwesterkrank. The historian asked me if the words red, left, green meant anything to me. Apparently, that's what Noisette kept saying just before she passed away. At the end of the passageway off Dieter's studio is a wall with engraving of a nut and a lock needing the year our despair ended and the year my despair began. Keep your eyes open for any resource as to who made this lock and anyone who could tell me about the symbols found in the secret underground passages. The dials on that device I saw in the code book I found remind me of the big stone discs in Minette's studio. All of them have Roman numerals around their edges. A connection, maybe? Okay. Let's see. Okay, I have everything down here. That's cool. Oh, asked Dieter about the obituary and the clock thing that fell out of his pocket.
Been there, done that.
Cool. Now that you have her phone number, call that historian, Lynn Marique, and pump her for information about Noisette Tornade.
That's finished.
Try to find the meaning of Noisette's last words, red, left, green. Ask Dieter if he's related to the Hans von Schwesterkrank, who was Noisette's Tornade boyfriend during World War II. Use that little clock key thing that Dieter dropped to open the panel by the bookshelf.
That's finished.
Open the panel at Dieter's with that clock key again and try to get all of the clock faces to match the one on the key before the timer runs out. Oh, there was a timer.
That's finished.
Explore the passageway that opened up at Dieter's.
Been there, done that.
See what, if anything, that grid I found in the tunnel off Dieter's studio is good for. Figure out what numbers to dial into that lock that's on the wall at the end of the tunnel of Dieter's studio.
Been there, done that.
Check out the book I found in that locked compartment. Odds are that it belonged to Noisette Tornade.
That's finished.
Keep an eye out for the machine that's pictured in the book of Noisettes that I found. Call Zoo, the Parisian Spelunker and see if he knows anything about the nut-like symbol I saw at the end of the secret passageway off of Dieter's studio. Ask Jean-Michel if there's an uncropped version of the picture of Minette's studio that was in Glam Glam, one that includes those stone discs before they were splattered with paint. Alright, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to resume this on a different day. Thank you guys for following along, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!